Today we're gonna change out a water heater. This is the old one I changed out. What happened was they rotted out at the bottom. They don't make them like they used to. It's got some good parts on it. Just started working. And the problem with that was that it didn't have a pan. So this is a brand new, not brand new, but this is a pan I took out of the rear house. And before it didn't have a pan. And if you look at the sides there, it's not, sealed or anything. So the water was just dripping out of that water heater and leaking into my closet, which was a bad idea. I don't know why they didn't put a pan, but they didn't. And now I got a pan. And what I did was it's got a little hole. So I had to cut into the side there, drill a hole through there. It's a 1 inch, 1 1/4, whatever. Got it through there. I'm going to cut that off. But I got my earthquake straps. They're already installed there because we're in California. There's my gas lines. Gas lines already there, and my inlets are there. So we'll go back and the water heater. I already put it in. So there's a few things you got to hook up. First off, we're going to start with this the earthquake straps. These earthquake straps are required in California. Okay, and the reason is you got your gas line, and if there's a big earthquake and the thing falls out, breaks your gas line, and you got a gas leak. That's the purpose of that. And then the other requirement is this is the discharge line right here, and then there's your hookups. Discharge line, it has a pipe right here. Okay, I'm going to bolt up these straps. They're not really where I want them, but I'm not going to go. See how they locked in there? You want it locked in there like that. And you can adjust this, which I'm going to do right now. I want this to be there. It's not really tight, like right here. And then when I bend it around, and then it fits right in that right there. It's supposed to anyway. See how it fits in there? I don't know if you can see that or not. I made my adjustment, now it'll fit tighter. It's tight enough to where, yeah, you're supposed to be within 1 inch of the back wall, but, so if there's an earthquake, it's not banging against the wall. And so 1 inch within the wall, which I'm probably not, but at this point, I just want the water heater to work. But for now, that's going to be it. Okay, so now we're going to, alright, I got my Teflon tape. So now I'm going to wrap these with the tape. And you're going to be able to see this. But anyway, this is what's going to happen here. I'll wrap it up. That's just, this one's a little rusty, but I'm not really worried about that. Just want to make sure it doesn't leak. Alright, so I'm going to bend this over. Hopefully it'll grab on there. It did. Okay. Got that on there. And you gotta finagle this around. For everything. Okay, just gonna get this on there snug. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention was you got your shutoff up here. That's your water line coming in. So you got to make sure you hook them up to the right side. So you got your cold side coming in. This is your hot side coming out. And there's a little bit of water coming out of there. So I got to tighten that down. I'm glad I checked it. So this is your cold coming in, hot coming out, going in to my master bathroom. So if you see this water heater, this is the old one. It shows you this is the cold water coming in, this is the hot water coming out, and they're labeled. So they're always labeled hot, cold. So you want to make sure you've got the right ones on. And they're on. Okay, here's the turn off switch. See it right there? Now I'm going to turn it on. And you'll probably be able to hear it. Hear the water. Now the water's going in there. So now I'm just going to fill it up. You hear it? It's filling up. And hopefully this thing works because it's been sitting over there for a long time. Anyway. And all this other stuff here is optional to shut off. I didn't bother taking it off. And I have the cover plates right there for this area. So it's filling up. So we're going to see if there's any leaks. In the meantime. Okay, now I'm hooking up the gas line. Again, I'm going to wrap this with some Teflon tape. The gas does have an odor to it. It's like a rotten egg smell. Now I'm going to twist this on there. See the flex line? Get those at any, if you don't already have one, just get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you go, any hardware store you have them. Tighten this sucker down, fill it up with water. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the gas. I'm going to show you where that is. See that yellow cap? That's the gas line. So when I turn it on, I'm going to turn it on. When you turn it on, this will be the direction of the pipe. See how it's going parallel to the pipe? That's on. When you have it off, it's crossed to the pipe. That's the norm on most of all the shutoffs you're going to see are like that, like this one. See how it's crossed? If I turn it this way, it'll be on. So just remember that. Okay, so when you light this thing, you want to read the instructions. It's very important because a lot of water heaters are all a little bit different. Like this one here has that little window there, so I can't even light it. I have to depend on this thing, which they don't always work. So basically, you got to read these and stuff. All right, so step 2 says rotate the thermostat dial counter clockwise to the lowest possible position. 3, which says rotate gas knob clockwise to off position. Okay, so here's the on and off position. And then it tells you to rotate to the off position, which I've done. Okay, so it's on the off position. Then it says wait 5 minutes to clear out any gas. If you smell gas near the floor, or if you smell gas, stop. And then you got to start over. Okay, so now I'm letting it clear out for the next 5 minutes. And it tells you to smell for gas. If you smell any gas at all, you got to stop. Okay, we're going to try again. I didn't have the gas on last time. I don't smell any gas. Okay, got it to pilot. I'm going to hold this down. And I'm going to light it. Problem is you can't really tell on these whether it's on or not. So at this point I'm just going to assume that it's on. You got to hold this down for a minute. Okay, the switch worked, the pilot worked, it held it for a minute, turned it on, turned it to warm, and it fired right up. You could hear the flames fire up. You can't really see anything in that observation window. See that window there? You can't really see nothing in there. I don't know. Just too much glare. I don't know, maybe you can see something in the camera. But it is on. And I don't see any leaks, which is awesome. Okay, this is your vent cap. This goes on top of your water heater. And I'll show you where it goes. So that hole right there, that's where the vent carbon monoxide comes out. So this is your air gap. So this fits on top of there. There's these little holes. I don't know if you can see those holes. So see the hole? Those are supposed to fit all in there. And you get it in there and it kind of just clicks in. Okay, so that cap's on. Now I gotta finish the rest of the vent. But that's your vent cap. And then the rest of the vent will go up to there. So you don't get any carbon monoxide fumes going in your house or wherever. I should twist this around first. And that's what I think I'm going to do, because it needs to turn 180 the other way because my pipe's on the other side. So now I'm going to fit this vent in there. The vent's a little too tall, so I gotta cut it. I'm gonna cut it with a Sawzall. Let's see if I can show you how to. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna cut this with the Sawzall, see how that works. Got my DeWalt here. Nice long blade. And let's see what happens here. I'm gonna sit right here. Gotta just brace it up right there. Sit on it. Cut pretty quick. So that was pretty quick. Twist it off and I got my cut. Not perfectly straight, but it'll work. Okay, we're gonna see if I can get it to fit on there. Pretty close. I'm gonna cut off about another inch. do it. Okay, so here's the vent. Just connected it right there. Put it back to the way it was, and that was it. And you see how that is? That's for if you're going through drywall. You got to have double walled. That has to be a double wall vent. The new code for these that are supposed to be, this is supposed to be double vent as well. But anyway, you want it solid metal like this. You don't want to use a flex line, or I see a lot of them use those flexible lines. They have to be double walled. They're flex, and we don't allow it. Anyway, that's the vent. So basically, this water heater for me to install cost me $0. And the reason is I had a spare water heater in my back house that sat there since 2008 when I bought this place. And it's just been sitting there. So if you call a plumber out to replace this water heater, this type of water heater, you're looking at between $3,000 and $6,000 to have a plumber come out and fix this water heater and hook it all up. And half the time when I see water heaters installations, they're done half-assed. A lot of times they don't put on the straps. They don't put these straps back. They don't put the discharge line on, which that'll be another episode. Discharge line is pressure relief valve is right there. You got to put a line on there. The line's right here. That'll be another episode when I put it on. But they usually, and a lot of times they don't put the right vents. You know, they put these flex vents in, make their job easier, and they still charge you $3,000 to install it. So it's pretty much a joke. You can buy these brand new between, say they're about $500 to $800. So if you had to buy a new one, you're still going to save thousands by doing it yourself. So that's it for now on this water heater. It's firing up, and hopefully it's going to do some hot water.